game number 1. Thank you for being patient with us. Retirement Home taking on We Win, and that kickoff is going to be a little bit of fun in the sun.
We always get there eventually, and hopefully Delusion is able to pick this up after such a rough start. Just even worrying about showing up to the series.
Yeah, he's not going to be too disheartened, I believe, but we win when we can. To reiterate for you, definitely all 3 picks of us on the desk. Let's see how you at home feel, because We Win have just been so strong during the qualifiers, and their roster is so darn experienced. With Delusion, the first shot from Sirix.
That's a clean goal. That's Sirix's bread and butter. He loves to get those half volleys, hit the top of the net, and just well placed just to get it above Kia in that instance.
And that's a good strong start. Not really worrying about Delusion there. Haven't seen him on the pitch just yet. Looks like it's still a strong showing, as I just said. Sirix going to pass the ball down off the backboard. Now it's not really touched, so that's interesting.
Oh!
As it's going to come through. Delusion this time setting it up.
That was an insane pre-jump save as well, coming out from Daze. He just figured, okay, the ball's probably coming here, but that was like a 1 in a million save.
Elusive saving the ball once again and doing a pretty good job from Retirement Home. The Demolition will slow things down, but we win when we can with that strong start, looking very confident on the pitch in 2018.
Retirement Home as well, they need to keep this forward pressure, because so far they've been in the defense for most of this game. Haven't really got a shot on yet, but we saw that same thing in the last series against the Chiefs.
Right, teams are pretty close in skill level. Delusion just bumped out of the way. Was looking to do a secondary touch right into the back of net. When we can, over to Siki, and you see a lot of the possession actually now going over to Retirement Home, who are able to set this shot up off the backboard. Delusion bumped away again, but he's getting the touches off, which really matters. Elusive not going to be able to get the best clear. Sirix races towards that major boost, but does not pick it up.
Aggressive as well.
Yeah, that's right. We win when we can. Looking after seeing Retirement Home last game, looks like they know exactly how they played against the Chiefs. Daze missing the ball, and we win when we can. Looks like they're having better touches, better passes, and getting to the ball.
It's really good seeing Sirix play so much more aggressive. He's the one who's been heartbroken time and time again, not just in 2017, but in 2016 and 2015. That's how long he's played and how long he's been so close just to taking out any major tournament.
Is this going to be his season? This is the best start you want. The OCE Open Series, when maybe a team like Chiefs aren't strong. Sirix will say yes.
That's Sirix's second goal. He got a hat-trick last week. He's got 2 goals already in this game, and that's coming from the player who has the least goals per game almost in Throwdown history.
What a change in dynamic. We talked about how different is this team from the previous Avant.
I think it's just confidence. Sirix is... It feels like he really understands what his teammates are doing. He knows he's not going forward a lot, but when he does, he just goes forward with intent.
Well, that in itself is a big enough change. We win when we can, lead by 2 goals. What a dominant performance to start things off. Game number 1, we win when we can. Playing on the defensive, but they don't look too stressed here. Waiting for the clear. It's coming from Delusion. Siki pushes up, and Sirix waiting for the pass, but in comes Delusion. Hits down, but denied by Elusive.
Retirement Home still covering their net really well, but they're not getting those passes off. They're not getting those plays that were setting up for brilliance in the qualifiers last week.
Same form, not too much stress coming through from We Win when we can. Siki meets midway. Bumped out of the way is Sirix. Means no one's going to be in goal, but the ball just travels across. And left field now. Delusion. It's the ball up. It's the angle right around the corner. Being passed from Elusive, not really to anyone. Sirix now, going to drop the ball down, won't find the second touch. Siki's there, the angle, right down center. Elusive, the pass across, a little bit wide on the side of Kia. He'll get demoed, and control will be regained by We Win when we can.
It's the attempt, though. That is where it's going to start for this series, just going for those passes. As long as they can start pushing them more and more, they'll eventually be successful.
Ball in the middle of goal. Sunk into net. That's what you want for Retirement Home. 2
That was an
down.
open net there for Delusion.
That's right. Right, doesn't find it. And I guess it's okay for now. 50 seconds. I mean, there can be some change from Retirement Home. There's the shot missed on the side of Delusion, I believe.
No, it was a great save by Kia. He just got that past just in the nick of time, even with Delusion putting so much pressure on him.
Yeah, saving again. Another touch for Delusion.
Oh.
Hits the crossbar. We win when we can. Still have a net there to utilize, and it goes in. Sirix on another hat trick.
Another hat trick, 2 weeks, 2 hat tricks. It is the first game, and Sirix is stepping up. This is his year. I'm calling it. Right at the very beginning.
Day one.
Day one of the
league
year,
play.
I'm calling it for Sirix. Mostly because I gave him a lot of slack last, a lot of mean talk last week.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I feel
I think
sorry.
we all did. Delusion off the roof. We win when we can. 30 seconds remaining. And it started off as a very good series. Unfortunately, Retirement Home just don't have what it takes at the moment. Siki will add one to the list.
That was just a laser beam. That was just straight through. Very difficult to save here for Elusive, who was caught on the back foot. But we win when we can. They're going to take out game number 1. They're going to start their 2018 run strong. And last week we saw We Win When We Can up against Retirement Home. We Win When We Can were the ones that had to adapt, and they did, and they got that reverse sweep. Well, now we have to see if Retirement Home can do the same thing.
All these changes in rosters and for We Win When We
Oh
Can.
my.
Oh, pretty good.
Elusive. He's just hanging on the backboard waiting for this, and he actually manages to get the angle of the century down into the bottom half. That is an incredibly difficult shot, ladies and gentlemen.
Did not see that one coming, that's for sure. But
Yeah, we were
Retirement
too busy talking about, we win.
Game's
when we can.
over, that's it. And Retirement Home pull one out of the blue, so at least it's going to be a confidence boost there for Elusive.
You have to remember, he retired. He stopped playing 2 months ago.
Correct.
I mean, he played a little bit of casuals, but he hasn't played seriously in so long, and he can still pull off plays like that. Talking of Elusive, he was a player in 2017 that came out of nowhere at the beginning of the year. He was an incredible player, and he never quite made it with the other team. And he ended up retiring. He's got university this year, but he's
Yep.
giving it another go, and he's doing well.
Might come out of retirement after this as well, depending on how Retirement
I
Home
mean, he
goes.
should just quit uni, right? Just go
Yeah.
full-time Rocket League.
That's right. who needs
That's
to?
the play that I'd make, but I'm a little bit
What is he studying again?
medicine.
Ah, yeah. Rocket League medicine. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, Rocket
$50,000.
League. Of course. I mean, that's where I'd go.
That'd pay your hex
I'm not
fees.
very responsible.
We're both not very responsible, to be quite honest. Pay your hex fees, and it'd also give you a pretty good start. We win when we can, though. Straight out of the gates, that 4-1. I mean, that was probably not my expectations, but you guys were convinced that We Win When We Can would just pretty much roll over.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
series.
it's a hard start considering We Win When We Can with a team that we were saying weren't coming in warm. They weren't coming in hot. I mean, Delusion coming in extra cold because he has no heating available with no electricity. But it is actually summer down here, so it's probably the opposite.
Well, we don't know where he is yet, so soon to find that one
You
out.
can't play from America.
No, I know that. I know he's not in America, but I mean, he could be in Tahiti, which I found out the other day it wasn't in Oceania. I should probably know, but that's a story for another day.
You know there's a game going, right?
I do indeed. Game number 2. We win when we can. Are looking pretty strong, and this could be an open net for Sirix, but Kia back in time. The setup's there right through center field. Who's back? I believe it was Delusion. Siki not getting the biggest clear, and we'll have to follow this one up here for Retirement Home. Ball gets past center field again. That's a good angle for Siki. It'll hit the backboard. The double touch. Angle is there. Siki.
What a goal by Win When We Can. Just the pass out by Sirix, backflipping to push that into the center of the pitch instead of letting it to bounce forward, and Siki getting the right angle off that double touch. It was just perfect. It's straight out of defense and into a goal.
It seems like, we said that a couple of times about We Win When We Can, especially in these first couple of goals. 1-0 off the bat. The passing play here, however, from Retirement Home just didn't find a finisher. And now it's back over to Siki, who
Has no boost.
Yeah, well, he's looking to do the Sirix, though. Picks up that major boost.
It seems that We Win When We Can are really winning off their passes too, but that is the pass that we wanted from Retirement Home, and that is going to secure a goal for them.
Right off the top of this. Watch it again. Elusive with the pass.
Just clever.
Exceptional, yeah. Retirement Home thinking one step ahead, and that's what they need to do. against We Win.
It's always going to be Days finishing those one off. He's the one pushing forward. Kia and Elusive will always take that third man position.
Yeah.
But Kia and Elusive are also so good at getting those clean passes off.
Well, We Win have to deal with Retirement Home again. Siki, it's not going to be the best touch. Just need to clear the ball away. But these passes coming through from Delusion, he's doing a lot more setup this week. And I think in front of net, Retirement Home have to be careful because they don't know who's going to make the play. And Siki setting up the angles. Delusion now giving it back over to Sirix, who had a hat trick in game number 1. We Win when we can are just really pushing forward.
I'm really liking this sign of Delusion. I think he was a bit nervous in last week qualifiers. Now he's willing to just let his team do the work to set them up instead of constantly going hyper aggressive.
Yeah, meets midway. Shot not going to go through. We Win when we can. Back over to Delusion, who hits the angle and doesn't find the net. And Sirix, again, not going to get control of the ball, but it's over to Kia. Bumps it up. Siki's there, and now off the wall. Elusive going to follow down. There's the aerial, but not to any success. Kia off the backboard. You can see Retirement Home are trying to set this one up, but the ball is not touched away. Daze is there with the shot. Great save from Delusion.
Just diving out of the backboard there. It was off a rough first start, but right now Elusive has been getting some great shots, and it's putting We Win on the back foot.
And I think We Win when we can. Part of the problem with Retirement Home is there's so many creative passes coming out of Delusion. You don't know where the ball's going to go. Siki, he comes through. Over to Sirix once again. He picks up the major boost, and got to stop calling it that. We go up the left-hand wing. Delusion going to back off now. After the clear, Sirix wants to take it himself. Retirement Home, they're starting to get a little bit more creative with the passes as well. As you can see, Kia hits the backboard. It's not really passed away, and not getting the clears off the backboard could mean the next goal for Retirement Home.
Yeah, I don't think Retirement Home were expecting another backboard hit because they'd pushed up for the pass, and it made it so that the ball went back over the top of their heads, and they weren't able to finish that one off.
Siki now in the wing. Sirix passes it up. Kia playing a lot more of that defensive role today, but Retirement Home still looking to move forward. A minute 30 remaining, and still neck and neck. Game number 2 so much closer, and I think that last goal of game 1 really gave that warm feeling to Retirement Home because they look so much more comfortable.
They are warmed up. They are the ones there, but what they've done is adapted. They've figured out the pass plays. They're working on their rotations, and it's working out quite well in this game so far, but they still need another goal.
Sirix almost finding the pass. Delusion now still into defense. Kia with the angle. Siki right where he needs to be. The defense continuing off for We Win when we can, but unable to really follow through with these clears, and Retirement Home getting more control. This is not going to be good because all the boost is their angle from Elusive.
That is a sick angle off the corner. It was set up by Kia as well, who went for the pass to Daze, but has put Sirix on the back foot. He's unable to save that. I don't think anybody could.
Retirement Home, with a minute remaining, push themselves into a lead. This is absolutely fantastic for them. Remember, 2 games could put them into the shoes of equal with the Chiefs. And that's exactly what you want. Kia trying to lock down game number 2. Delusion, 45 seconds remaining, passes it up, and We Win when we can. Have a couple of plays left in them before time runs out. Great bump, but what does it mean for We Win when we can? It means that the ball will not stay down there for long, and going to go back over to Sirix. Timing's very good, but the passes, I guess they need to come through a little bit quicker.
You really see that Sirix doesn't want to overcommit either. He waited for the opponent to commit before he went up. It means that he's a little bit slower to the ball, but he's never ever doubling up with his teammates.
Siki now, play it with Delusion. Elusive getting to the ball first, a big problem for We Win when we can. They're not holding possession, and this is an opening.
We're in the wrong side of the pitch right now.
Not sure what's going on. A second remaining. Very far from a minute. That ball, they do not want to hit the ground. We win when we can. Opportunity, but not yet. Kia just wants it to touch. Siki knocks it down. And Retirement Home pick up a game.
Really well played by Retirement Home at the end there. That was the complete opposite of what we saw previously, where when they got ahead, they got hyper defensive. They were rotating all the way back. Well, right there at the end, they kept We Win when we can in their defensive half for a good 30, 45 seconds. and they couldn't get it out. And if you're stuck in defense, you can't get a goal.
That's right. And that shut down
Top level analysis here.
That was very good. It was like kind of my sort of stuff. But we win like they get pushed back, and you're like, oh, we can't really do anything. And it's good to see Retirement Home still has that effect. They felt like they had that effect on the Chiefs, and now they're kind of doing it again till we win.
Well, now they can cause the upset. They can get those 2 games to tie themselves up with the Chiefs on the standings. And man, I really love watching Retirement Home play as well. For a brand new team, normally we see these teams and they overcommit. And sure, there was probably 2 or 3 cases where Retirement Home pushed up too hard. But their rotations are really solid. They're fun to watch. You can tell what they're trying to achieve on the pitch. And of course, we win when we can. You have a very similar feel. So it feels just like very good, solid, standard Rocket League.
It feels like
my type of Rocket League.
But it's a very interesting dynamic. That's why we enjoy it so much. Like Retirement Home have their own little niche style, and then we win when we can come through. And you see a new player in Delusion, and that in itself is a bit of excitement. So Game 3 will really determine where Retirement Home finish for day 1.
You know, I was doing predictions yesterday, and I actually put Retirement Home 2-1. And considering how that last game went, I kind of regret flipping around.
That's right. No one likes a flip-flopper, and Retirement Home proving Yummy a little bit wrong here. Elusive trying to set the ball up, and again, the aggression starts right off the bat for Retirement Home. Passing needs to come through from we win. They need to get this clear so that Delusion could do what he wants before.
Delusion, he hasn't been pushing up anywhere near as much. In fact, last week we never saw him in the back like he was just then.
Yeah. But he's always up, and Siki and Sirix this time seem to be the ones that are pushing up past the midfield. Nice touch there coming through from Siki, but the ball sent immediately back, and Daze ready to strike. This is where you have to be careful. Siki off the wall will not find the follow-through with that aerial. And now off the backboard, it's not touched again, and Daze misses the second touch, but now it's Elusive's turn. Gets into that corner, but doesn't go into the back of net, and Retirement Home had an opportunity there, and they're going to regret. Retirement Home on the defense. We can. There's Delusion off the side post. Getting close. Finally getting it out with a clear. Retirement Home pushing back up. We win when we can. Ball getting centered down. But still, back down it goes. Retirement Home still holding strong in the defense, and it feels like maybe the communication channels are better. Maybe the passing is just that much clearer.
Well, their defense has been really strong. They've just struggled to convert from it most of the time. And if we win when we can, aren't setting up big pass plays, aren't setting up big shots, they're not expected to get past the Retirement Home goalkeepers.
And it means that, we stop really watching for them. We just watch for the clears and what they can do with it. 3 minutes remaining. Elusive now. Over the top. Waiting for Sirix to clear. He gets demoed. Opportunity arises, but Siki still keeps pushing forward. The angle is correct, and defense should be easily managed. We win when we can. Pushing forward, but immediately the same result. Still no goal scored, but any time's the charm. Elusive looking to make number 1. Daze comes forward as well, and talk about those team dynamics, and it's interesting to see that Retirement Home have definitely fell into the comfort of theirs.
Yeah, they're finding it difficult as well. Just holding on so far in net. It's not like they've felt comfortable in defense in that play. It's great to see Retirement Home just getting these big clears, putting it behind. We win when we can, because it's forcing them on the back foot.
Yeah, but we win when we can. They might be in a very difficult position as Delusion. Ready for the setup. Ball over the top, and rotation from we win, I guess, is to be commended, because they're quite slick, they're quite quick, and I don't think we've seen a bit of a mess up or a messy rotation.
They're good at backing each other up, and so are Retirement Home, to be fair. They're doing really well as a brand new team to make sure that at all points in time someone's covering the net.
Centered. Siki comes through. It's going to be a good angle.
Oh.
It's a crossbar. Sirix now recovering. Delusion here. He's pushed up. That's when you know the aggression is going to come through from We Win. But after 1, 2, and 3, they have to recover some boost. We're not done yet. Siki sets it up nicely, but away it goes from Sirix. And unfortunately, that was We Win When We Can's kind of first aggressive move, and it did not work out.
I think that's part of We Win When You Can getting beaten by those clears. They're holding further back, and that meant that Sirix couldn't get to that ball first, which was the only way for them to score that goal.
Still intense. There's a minute 15 remaining.
Pretty
One
tempted
goal.
fake.
might be in. Yeah, that's right. Delusion. So after that, he goes back. All touched up for Days, but it's going to be a pass instead. There's Siki over the top. Who's in net? Great save from Days. That one would have cornered in, but still saves the day. A minute remaining. And Retirement Home still pushing up, but we when we can have actually started coming out of their side of the field, which is good to see. More members committing up means there's more room for a mistake.
This is a 1v1 scenario. Only Siki really left back, and it could be an opportunity. Retirement Home just letting that one slip, and they might go off and head for some boost.
Yeah, that's not the first time though. And both teams there is the angle getting closer. Sirix on the defense, the center, back in. Siki misses the ball. Luckily so to Retirement Home. 20 seconds remaining. Elusive. Good pass back to Kia. Around the corner. Kia looking for the second touch. Will not find it. In fact, pinches it between him and Sirix. And 13 seconds remaining. Looks like we could go to overtime, but one last defensive play from Retirement Home. Have to get it out. Sirix doesn't get the biggest clear, and the danger still there for we win. As the ball comes away, looks like they want to hit the ground, and a 0 all overtime.
And this is when the pressure begins. The next goal is winning this game. It's winning the series, but most importantly for both of these teams, the game win here puts them into an incredible start to league play.
Elusive trying to knock the ball down there. He sat on the backboard, but, you know, fool me once, I guess. Set up again when we win.
Look how defensive Sirix is right now. He's so far back because this is the pressure. This is the
Good
pass. They do not want to give up this goal, and it might just come down to one big play.
And another play like that. Retirement Home. Careful does it. Pass over. It's to Sirix. He pops it. Back over to the side of we win when we can. They're playing it a lot slower here, Yummy. The center's there from Siki, and they've done it. Calm, cool, and collected.
Beautiful close play as well. Siki knows that Delusion can get this flick. He's a grounded player. He gets the flick every single time. Siki was ready for it. They've won that game. They've won the series. And we win when we can. You know, we were talking them up at the beginning. We were saying that this was potentially their season. But Retirement Home, they wanted to take that down. They almost did.
And that was just like a very... That dampened my expectations. I thought a stomp. I thought a 3-0. I saw a 2-1. But Retirement Home has shown us that they can sit up with big dogs like the Chiefs.
Well, they showed it already today.
Yeah.
They look to show it again. They almost took down. They both had opportunities. We even saw Kia miss a goal right at the end.
Yeah, and they had a lot of overtimes as well. So even if the end of series score isn't as close as we'd like, you can see it in the actual gameplay that if it's always going to overtime, they've got to be pretty much on the same level.
That's exactly right. But I think a good showcase nonetheless from Siki, Sirix, and Delusion. I think we saw a little bit of a change with Delusion, and for me that's quite interesting because I saw him as a striker, I saw him as up, and then Sirix is so defensive. But this time Sirix, he's not sitting halfway in the net.
Well, he was at certain points during the game.
But not always.
I think that's him getting back into old habits a little bit, getting a little bit underconfident. But when he was confident, he was doing really well. He got those 3 goals. And Delusion has been able to sit back a lot more.
Yeah, you can see that definitely more in the first game where he felt more comfortable and he would come forward. Normally getting the third shot, every single goal scored by them was a pass play over the course of the entire series. Sirix was normally the final man in the pass play, so he wasn't necessarily playing aggressively, he was finishing the plays. And when you did see them, you did see the adaptation coming through from Retirement Home, and they were forcing them to more play safely back. You did see Sirix fall into old habits and play probably a little bit too safe.
Yeah, well, Yummy. One question for you, however, is Delusion's change in playstyle, was that just to facilitate the other two, or did they just want to try something new with Delusion himself?
Well, fella, I've seen that playstyle before. I've watched Delusion play. I was really interested to see why they've been doing so well in the off-season. And I think, obviously, like that is a much better playstyle if you get all 3 rotate really well with each other. And last week was an exception where I think they were just a little bit nervous.
Which is fair, you know, it's his first day on the big boy
qualifier,
stage.
It's the first day, and it's if you lose, you're out kind of thing.
That's right. And now that you have the comfort, you've got league play, but when we can, I mean, that is not the last time they're coming through today. They're actually versing Simple Physics next. And I think for me, that is going to be a much easier series considering how Simple Physics came through. We had their warm-up. They've got 2 points. They're now looking for another 3.
Yeah.
Great chat. Well, we're going to have a quick 3-minute break when we return. We're going to have We Win When We Can, taking on Simple Physics, and more expert analysis ahead.